For the 18 people that was kidnapped 3 weeks ago, and all of them were rescued. That is why we are doing the replacing service.
The fact of the matter remains, there's just a lot of money, right, to be made in this enterprise. We have seen and noticed a situation where groups that were more ideologically coherent have completely flipped their operations to just making money out of this practice in order to procure more weapons, secure a better means of living for themselves. The legitimacy of Nigerian politicians, right, is really low right now. So for a lot of these communities, they do not feel as though government is an honest actor. Government has the resources or the political will or the political wherewithal to protect them. And so in many respects, what a lot of these communities now resort to doing is to pay protection money to the very people who target them, this kidnapping rings, as it were. And so it's an all-round good time, right, for anyone who has a gun and a weapon, unfortunately, in this country and operates on the informal side of things. Violence and insecurity has occurred in Nigeria for so long, and there have been precious little consequences, right, in terms of jail term, in terms of executions, in terms of legal consequences for the perpetrators of this violence, that many of them are being significantly emboldened to continue to carry out those activities. What we've seen in recent times is building on the violence and the insecurity that has occurred over the last decade plus. The data shows that it's essentially a free-for-all. So Christians, Muslims, or those of other religious persuasions, the fact of the matter remains that the confluence of economic, political, social, and environmental factors means that for many communities in this country, the overwhelming majority of whom are religiously and ethnically diverse, the preconditions exist for violence to occur. The underperformance of the government in terms of managing Nigeria's security challenges is not for a lack of an understanding of the problem, right? The intelligence apparatus is well developed enough that it is able to have a clear sense of where a lot of these groups and their leaders are, how they operate, what their modus operandi is, right, and what their likely targets are. The problem is that the security architecture to properly utilize that intelligence on an operational level is still not fully built out, right? So it leaves a lot to be desired, and it leads to very unfortunate situations where, for example, the Air Force, right, unwittingly targets army personnel on the ground, right, or innocent civilians on the ground just because intelligence isn't properly utilized.